Look, I need to be completely honest with you. Walking into a supermarket in a new country for the first time is one of the most quietly humiliating experiences a human being can go through. You think you are prepared. You have lived your whole life buying food. You know what a grocery store is. And then you walk through those sliding doors, and suddenly you are standing in the cereal aisle having an existential crisis because nothing looks familiar, and you cannot figure out if the thing in your hand is cereal or pet food. Welcome to Grocery Shopping 101, where today we are unpacking why a simple supermarket run somehow becomes the ultimate test of your survival skills when you move to a new country. And I promise by the end of this, you are going to feel so much less alone. Let us start at the very beginning, which is, ironically, the most confusing part. The entrance. Every supermarket has a logic, a flow, a system. The problem is that system was built for people who grew up there, and nobody gave you the manual. In some countries, you grab a cart and you are off. In others, you need a coin to unlock the cart, which nobody tells you, so you stand there yanking the thing like it personally offended you while a local watches with patient secondhand embarrassment. Some stores require you to weigh your own produce before checkout. Some do not. And the moment you guess wrong, you find out at the register in front of everyone. The layout itself is a whole other puzzle. You might assume things are organized the way your brain expects them to be. Dairy together. Bread near the entrance. Snacks in the middle. Wrong, or at least maybe wrong. Every chain has its own floor plan philosophy, and until you have done a few full laps of the store looking for something as basic as olive oil, you have not truly understood the immigrant experience. Now let us talk about labels, because this is where it gets genuinely tricky. Reading a food label in another language is like being handed a test you did not study for. And it is not just about translation. Even when you can read the words, you still have to decode the meaning. Nutritional information is formatted differently depending on where you are. Serving sizes are calculated differently. Percentages are based on different daily value standards. So even if you are health conscious and normally good at reading labels, you are starting from scratch. Then there is the ingredient list. You scan it looking for something familiar, something that tells you this product is basically the version of the thing you used to buy back home. Sometimes you find it. Sometimes you think you found it, and then you get home and realize it tastes completely different because the formula varies by country, or the flavor profile is adjusted for local preferences. That moment when you open the package excitedly and take one bite, and your face just falls, is genuinely one of the saddest small griefs of living abroad. And do not even get me started on measurement units. If you moved from a metric country to one that uses imperial, or the other way around, suddenly recipes become math problems. You are standing in the baking aisle trying to convert grams to ounces in your head while someone waits to get past you and you are blocking the entire section. Let us shift gears here, because shopping is not just about the products. It is about the people. And local shopping etiquette is something nobody puts in any relocation guide. Queue culture is massive. In some countries, the checkout line is sacred. You stand in order. You do not hover. You do not inch forward. You wait your turn, and you respect the invisible social contract. In other places, the line is more of a suggestion, and if you wait politely, you will be there until closing time. Figuring out which kind of place you are in is something you can only learn by watching, failing, or occasionally getting a look from a stranger that makes you want to sink into the floor. Then there is the bagging situation. Do you bag your own groceries? Does the cashier do it? Is there a bagger? Do you need to bring your own bags? Do you buy bags at the counter? Are those bags free or do they cost money? These seem like tiny questions, but when you are in the moment, tired from navigating everything else, and the cashier is staring at you waiting for you to do something and you genuinely do not know what that something is, It feels enormous. Small interactions at the register are another thing entirely. Cashiers might greet you in a certain way and expect a specific response. They might ask if you have a loyalty card. They might say something at the end that is a customary farewell, and you nod and say something that does not quite fit, and you both just move on, and you spend the walk to the car replaying it. Now here is the part that hits hardest: missing your comfort foods. This is not just about preference. This is about identity and memory, and the way food is connected to who you are. There are foods from home that are tied to specific feelings. A specific smell that takes you back to your grandmother's kitchen. A brand of biscuits you ate every Sunday afternoon. A particular type of bread that tastes exactly like every morning before school. And when you cannot find those things, it is not just inconvenient. It is a small, quiet ache. You start doing things like checking the international foods aisle with a kind of desperate optimism. Sometimes you find a version of something. Sometimes you find the exact thing and you feel an almost embarrassing rush of joy. You might have actually called someone at home to report this discovery. No judgment. We have all done it. The substitution game becomes a hobby. You start testing local products, trying to find your new version of something. Maybe the crackers are not quite the same, but they are close enough. Maybe you discover something entirely new that becomes its own comfort over time. That process takes a while, but it does happen. And when it does, it feels like a small victory. Here is what I want you to take away from all of this, because this video is not just about commiserating, although there is absolutely a place for that. The grocery store is actually one of the best classrooms for cultural learning that exists. Every product on those shelves tells you something about what people here eat, how they live, what they celebrate, what matters to them. The snack aisle alone is a cultural document. The type of bread available, the cuts of meat, the ready-made meal section, the size of the spice selection, all of it is information. And once you start reading it that way, the overwhelm starts to shift a little. Also, practical tip time. Go during off-peak hours when you are still learning the store. You will have more time to look around without feeling rushed. Take a photo of the label when you are unsure and translate it at home before you commit. Do not assume the cheapest or most prominently displayed product is the equivalent of what you used to buy. Ask people. Locals love talking about their food, genuinely. You will get better recommendations from a fellow shopper than from any guidebook. And finally, give yourself some grace. You are not supposed to know all of this already. Nobody is born knowing how to navigate a foreign supermarket. It is a skill you build one slightly awkward trip at a time. The fact that you are figuring it out, reading labels you cannot fully understand, navigating checkout etiquette you were never taught, missing your favorite things but pushing through anyway, that is not failure. That is adaptation. And adaptation, even when it is uncomfortable, is one of the most impressive things a person can do. So next time you are standing in that aisle, looking completely lost, just know that somewhere out there, someone else is doing the exact same thing. You are in very good company.